What's for lunch? TBBLC.
Stay in your seat.
What's for lunch today? Sausage. Brown bag, brown bag.
The Brown Bag Lunch Crew. How you doing, folks? Welcome back to another episode of TBBLC, Season 2, Episode 1. How's it feel, Drew? Good to be back with you this week.
Oh, it feels incredible. I just want to thank my family, my friends. Season 1, we appreciate all the listeners. We could not be more excited for Season 2. We're going to let it rip.
Absolutely. Exponential growth is what we're going for. We'll see if we get it. It's a tough road ahead, but we're willing to do it. Today, we're going to go right back to some of our roots here from Season 1 with Hate of the Week. We might switch it up towards the end of the show. You might see a couple segments change. But, Drew, let's dive right in. Give me your Hate of the Week. Let's air some grievances, as they would say in Seinfeld.
I'd be more than happy to air some grievances. I've had some stuff cooking up this weekend, and I'm eager to share. I'll start with my primary hate of the week that I am prioritizing this week, which is when you wake up in the morning, typically one of the first few things you do is brush your teeth. Unfortunately, I'm one of the folks who just out of pure, I don't even really know the word at this point. It's just what I do every morning, I guess. Pure routine, maybe.
Yeah. Is
right after I put the toothpaste on the toothbrush, I have to wet it a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes I pull the nozzle a little too far in the morning. It's like a freaking water cannon putting out a fire, sprays the toothpaste right off down the drain. And I'm like, well, we got to restart. And it's like, you want something nice and simple, just to set the tone for your day, something to just kind of go your way and, get your legs under you.
Yeah.
But when something like that happens, it seems small, but to me, those are the types of things that I just unfortunately let them get under my skin. And it's happened too often for me to not bring it up on the pod. So that's my hate of the week. And I'm sure it happens more often than we think across our nation every day.
Yes. Question for you now, because I think I know what you're going to do on this. If the water rockets that toothpaste off into the sink, doesn't go down the drain, are you going to scrape it up with your toothbrush and still use it? Or are you just calling that one quits, flushing that one down the drain, and dialing up a new one?
I'm typically dialing up a new one. I feel like I've wanted to probably just scrape it up off the sink, but the idea of scraping it up off the bowl of the sink and then putting it back in my mouth, something is kind of off about it to me.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm totally on board with that, especially with everything going on now with like germs and stuff. I'm just being extra careful.
Cleanliness, I'm going to say my kitchen sink probably doesn't get washed enough, or not kitchen sink. I don't wash my teeth there or brush my teeth there. My bathroom sink probably doesn't get washed enough for, spitting the toothpaste back down there or washing your hands. So I am not scraping it off there unless, I'm down to my last bit of toothpaste and really have only a couple left before I have to go to the store. And then things get dire, and I'll be willing to scrape at that point. I know you got an honorable mention. Let's hear it.
I do, and it's actually very recent as of this evening, actually. I was just at the cupboard with some family. Expected it to be fairly nice. We got there. It wasn't. So my hate of the week was tonight's weather, and I'll give you the average that I just have a problem with. It's when it's about, it's been between 80 and 85 degrees and sunny the last 4 days. So I kind of got lulled into this false sense of security. I'm wearing shorts, Sperry's, and a long sleeve shirt to the cupboard. I get out of the car. It's about, 60 degrees, foggy, misting. I felt like a damp, cold dish rag by the end of it. Did I enjoy my meal? Yes, but it's not even the rain. It's just like that light mist that's just teasing you, and it's just cold enough where, like, silly me, I have shorts and a long sleeve shirt on, and I'm just freezing my behind off.
Yeah.
And it's just a weird intermediate type of weather, especially this time of year. And there's just nothing worse. It absolutely sucks.
I'll tell you, that same thing going out into the golf course. If you know it's going to be like pouring out and you have to play for some reason, you're going there with the full kit and caboodle. You're getting your rain gear, you're getting your pants, getting the old bucket hat, and you're fine. But it's the unexpected rain when you go out and you don't have that stuff because you were lazy or the bag didn't want to be that heavy that day. And
Miserable.
it's so bad. You're just soaked all the way through to your core. And there's nothing like that rain getting to you and just putting a little chill in your body. That's really it. As
Yeah,
for my hate of the
exactly.
week, I am going with cell phone subscriptions. And this dates back, I don't know how long ago this started. What, 5, 7 years probably?
Yeah.
When they shifted from you could get an upgrade for free because you've had that phone for so long and you've been with that subscriber for so long that
Hmm.
you felt like you were, getting a good deal out of it. Now,
Yeah.
you get a free or an upgrade. It's just like, hey, you can get a new phone, but we're still going to charge you a whole ton of money. Like,
Yeah.
what's the newest, like, one of the newer phones, the iPhone 11 right now? Like, you can't get that thing for less than $800. That's insane. I remember back in the early 2010s when I was getting my first phone as a junior in high school. You can get that thing for like $75. Granted, it was a flip phone and could barely text, but
Exactly. And the funny part too is, first off, I do want to note you were a late adopter of the cell phone. A junior in high school is
yes.
nowadays. There's kids in fifth and sixth grade who literally cannot live without their cell phones.
I like to think
Um,
it taught me some socialization. I can talk to people pretty good.
Pretty good. That's a. I couldn't agree more. Long story short, I think half the time now, and all an upgrade means is, hey, congratulations, you paid your bill for 24 months.
Yeah.
Now you can pay it again for another 24 months with another phone.
Yeah.
Or you can pay, or you can literally pay like $980 instead if you want to give it to us all right now in the Apple Store.
Yeah. We'll
There's no
take it. If
reward.
you want to write a
Yeah,
big check, we'll
yeah.
take
If
it.
you want to write a bigger, yeah, we'll take it here right now, and you can leave, and you don't have to pay a dime after that.
But guess
It
what?
literally is just
There's
saying,
no
hey,
subtraction of any of the costs of fees for that. It's the
no,
same
no,
amount. Like, you're getting
yeah,
screwed
it's
either way.
yeah, it's ridiculous. I do remember back in the day where like you would be able to get an upgrade, and you were like, yes, like, and the phone was nothing. It was peanuts. It was just paying the monthly bill for the plan. And now it's like every, what is it, 24, 36 months or so, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like you're paying up the ass because you need the next best thing. It's, oh my gosh, it's a nightmare. I don't know when along the lines of cell phones it turned, but it is not an enjoyable experience.
My honorable mention this week, gonna refer back to golf because something always gets me riled up during the week. This
Yeah.
one's been brewing for a while. This goes back to really my caddy days back at Myopia Hunt Club, and then like just seeing all the uppity courses, around the North Shore, and then as you travel. But one of my college teammates on the girls' team her dad was a member at Pine Valley. It's regarded as the number one course in the world. Unbelievable. But it's some place I will never play personally, even if I get the chance to, because their policies are dated back to the 1860s or whenever it
Oh yeah.
was that women actually got the right to vote, and now, but they can't be a member at Pine Valley. So it's courses
What?
like that have these membership policies where they exclude a certain portion of the population, and it's not just like this is a hard set, no woman in the membership. Augusta National was like this probably until, I don't know, 2012. Condoleezza Rice was the first female member there. So it's not like it's removed that far, but it's absolutely asinine. And the thing is, those are like the major policies from the two best courses in the world, I'd say. There's so many other courses that have the culture of like, oh, we're not going to let this certain, race, ethnicity, gender into this golf club, not because they can't pay the bill, not because they're of whatever status. That's another one that
Yeah.
really ticks me off is like, oh, you're
Oh
not
yeah.
you're not old money, so you're not getting into the club. Tom Brady couldn't get into Brookline Country Club, the country club, because he wasn't like old money.
Yeah.
He was the king of Boston sports. That's
Yep.
bananas. He lived on the golf course, Drew. One of the golf holes ran along his backyard. Couldn't get a membership there. It's my rant of the week.
Bananas.
I absolutely despise it. And whoever runs those clubs, I hate you for the rest of my life. If you're ever putting those policies into place, you're the lowest of low humans. That's my rant.
First, mic drop. First off, I bet Condoleezza Rice hits absolute missiles. First off,
She is everywhere in the sports world. I mean, she's on.
I bet she hits bombs.
She's a member at Augusta, and then she's doing the selections for the college playoffs all the time as well. She's on the
Wild.
committee.
She just pops up. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievably impressive, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree. I didn't know that was a thing, to be honest, but that is absolutely outrageous that it is in this day and age, especially. So that is a damn shame, and I fully support your hate of the week.
Wonderful.
Do you have a secondary? Do you have an honorable mention?
That was my honorable mention. I know it was probably like a primary. I've been waiting to get that off my chest for a while.
Because
So,
it seemed like it was okay. All right, that's fair.
it was my honorable mention because we talk a lot about golf, but
Yeah.
I think it related to everything else in the world right now.
I would completely agree.
Let's get on to our next segment. This one goes out to JBird, as we call him, at Beneath the Bar.
Hold on. Do we want to do our guest hate of the weeks?
Yes, we do. I completely ran past this once again. I'm
Second week in a row,
solely
you did that.
focused on me and you.
Which is fine. I know. That's totally fine. I'll go ahead.
Yeah, fire away.
My two guest hate of the weeks, Harry Azzaro. This is one that I love, and it knocked me and Curt off our feet when we first read it.
Yep.
So shout out to him. His hate of the week, Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Now that is all time. I haven't contacted him to get more details. I am hoping I can. I presume it's because he's just an old lazy hag, and like this. What's the kid's name who has to drag his ass out of there?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I mean, yeah.
Right?
What an idiotic question by me. That's the friggin' name of the whole
I had to think.
movie book.
I had to dig a little deep there in the back.
Charlie has to drag his damn. First off, the environment that his grandpa lives in is absolutely repulsive. It is disgusting. It is sad. So I totally support it. He just seems like somebody who doesn't care. He needs to care more about his nephew.
I think
He needs to actually.
what gets people
Go ahead.
is the fact he comes back with the ticket and that guy skyrockets up out of that bed. I think that's what.
Some would say that's almost fraudulent.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of fraudulence there. Like
he
was he faking it? Was he milking it?
Yeah.
Because he gets that golden ticket, and all of a sudden it's like he's a superhero, and he can just act like he's a professional basketball player jumping out of the gym out of the bed.
Yeah.
So, fraud of the week, hate of the week, I think both personally, and I want to quickly catapult off to my next guest hate of the week submission, Mike Fasciano. He said, "People who cross the street all willy nilly and choose not to use the sidewalk right next to them." I paraphrased it. That's how I see it as. I gotta say, I probably had done that before.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
I think everybody has.
I'm a little bit lazy, but I get it. As he's a police officer, he needs to enforce these things. He has a different perspective to us. Shout out to him.
Yep.
But it makes sense. If there's a crosswalk there, use it. Simply put,
Yep.
like obviously don't go out of your way to not
See,
use it.
I think you're
But sometimes
misquoting
you
him
just
on
have
this. I think you've got this one wrong. So to quote him, people who run in the road when the sidewalk is right next to them. So it's the action. This is totally different. Like, yeah, everybody's jaywalking out there, and nobody
So this
cares.
isn't jaywalking. This
No.
is literally get your ass on the sidewalk type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So I don't have
Like
a
don't
problem.
walk in the street.
I don't have a problem with the runners usually because I feel like the runners are respectful. They'll dash off to the side in the grass if there's some room maybe. And I think
Yep.
the roads, like the one that goes to Good Harbor with the guardrail, they added extensions so you can now do it. But before that, there was no place to run other than that road. That was all
No.
you had, and you were lucky to get out of there alive.
Yeah.
I hate the bicyclers. They feel like they
doesn't?
own the road. They
Who
don't
doesn't?
signal. They're the absolute worst. Like, yeah, I get the whole you got a road bike, you can't ride on the sidewalk. But guess what? You can ride in that little, like, slip of breakdown lane and not be halfway out in the street where I have to cross the
Yes.
median and face an 18-wheeler barreling down
dude.
the road.
On the back shore, my truck has been not even over the median. It's been completely in the other lane. When there's like a row of 6 bikers and you have to try to go 45 to get by them before another car head-on collisions you.
And you got to speed
It's
up.
and they're like, oh, like they're probably thinking, oh, this guy's an a-hole. He's like, speeding by us. No, I just don't want to die.
Yeah,
Thanks
and I
to
don't
you.
want to sit behind you going 9 miles per hour on a 25.
No, thank you.
That's going to roll right into our next fan submission from Ricky Rignola, the umpire from Season 1, Episode 1. He put in this week cars or drivers, for instance, that don't signal if they're changing lanes or taking a turn. This one's a big one I don't think anybody likes, just like the bicyclers, because it's abrupt stops. Those brake lights come on, and you're not expecting it, and all of a sudden you just went from 60 to about 10 miles per hour because this guy's trying to take a 5-mile-an-hour turn.
Terrible. Happened to me last week on the highway, getting on the highway from the rotary, going over the bridge. This guy not only did he not use his blinker, doesn't even look. Almost sideswipes me in the passing lane. And I just lay on the horn for like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like, how, like, come on. It's basic, like, driving school techniques. And it doesn't take anything but a little flick of the finger. Pretty simple.
Pretty simple. And now I'm going to get on to what I believe is our best. I think Drew may agree, just based on the amount of discussion we can give. And this guy, he put one in last week. He didn't get in. It wasn't good enough, we deemed. But I'm glad he came back, and he came back strong for the King Hate of the Week, I would call it. It's EJ Santarpio, of a member of the Santarpio family, for
Shout out
Santarpio's
Santarpio's
Pizza in Boston.
Pizza.
Well
Oh my God,
regarded.
it's so good.
Yes.
Well regarded. Shout out
So,
Santarpio's.
Ej sent us unspreadable butter. The one that is in the fridge. You take it out and you're trying to, maybe get it on some sort of English muffin or anything. And it refuses to spread. It just sticks in that one glob, and you're having to force that bread down to get
It's
it
like
to spread
flipping
at
over
all.
the knife and stuff.
Oh.
It's a nightmare.
It's the worst.
So,
Go ahead.
with that said, I did this happened to me this morning, all right? Toast. And really anything. For me, it's about timing. That once the toast hits the plate out of the toaster, you need to put the butter on. And then, after timing, what is it about? Patience. If you wait 7 to 10 seconds, that butter is going to be already running over it. All you need is that metal knife. You give it a little once over, and you're in pretty good shape. It's about timing and patience, and you can make it work. I understand not everybody has those two things. And I'm not saying that he does. I'm not saying that he doesn't. Me personally, I can get through that type of,
Mental
hate of the week.
warfare.
I can get through it. It's about patience. You wait. You let the whatever you're toasting do the work for you. You let it. You say, here, take the reins, warm it up, and then you just give it a little once over with the knife, and you're in pretty good shape.
In his defense, you are a local when it comes to a little bit of a commute. What do you got? Maybe 7-8 minutes to work. He's working the old Boston grind, so it's a little different.
He
in the
doesn't have as
morning,
much time
probably.
to let his butter melt. I get that.
It's true.
Understood. And fair.
It's true. All right, thanks EJ for that one. And now we'll get back to what I originally introduced as the JBird special here. It's in honor of Jason Vizena. It's the cheap meal of the week. We're going to do our favorites here. We're going to give you a meal, a snack, and then a little flex option. Drew,
Yep.
I'll start off with you. We'll go back and forth here. Give me your meal.
All right, blow for blow. I'll give you my meal. This is so easy. In my sleep, upside down, backwards, I could give it to you. This is from Maria's in Gloucester. The pizza and chicken parm combo we do, me and my dad.
Okay.
Even if we just go, we'll get a cheese pizza and order a chicken parm. You split it. Oh my God! Anybody who knows anything, the pizza is good, Like I'm talking top 2 or 3 in town.
Yep.
But the chicken palm, boy oh boy, is it a sneaky mistress. Not a lot of people know about the chicken palm, but I'll tell you, it is elite. So without a doubt, one of the best combos, and without a doubt, the best cheat meal that I would ever go to is the pizza and chicken parm combo from Maria's.
I like that. A lot of carbs in that one. That's a good one.
Oh yeah.
I'll give a shout out to one of my favorite lunch places, as you know. People shit on their chicken fingers sometimes, but Destino's
Oh,
cheesesteak, side of fries, possibly here, if I'm doing a cheat meal. It's going to be a large cheesesteak, by the way, because that is going to fill you
it's
up.
like 40 cents difference. People who get the small at Destino's are frauds.
Crazy.
It's 40 cents,
Yeah.
and you get way more meat and way more like
And
other
just
stuff.
take it home, put it in the
Yeah,
fridge and
it's
have a little
simple. It's
cold
40
cheesesteak.
cents, and you get another meal out of it. It's just mind
Easy.
boggling. Anyways, continue.
But you know what I'm going with next? I'm going with that little
I know what
1
you're
liter
going with.
bottle of Sunkist. That little 1 liter, and I'm drinking that whole thing, and that's sitting right there.
Dude, Sunkist, Destino's. Last time I was there, there's a real chance, if I remember correctly, I had already slugged an entire can of Sunkist before my chicken finger cheesesteak even hit the table. I already had another one cracked. If I let's say I was there for a couple hours, I had a pretty rampant pace going,
No,
almost like like a Joey Chestnut type of situation where they're just flowing.
yeah.
You know?
Here's the question: you had to go back up and pay for that other Sunkist too while you're waiting for your food, which is the best
Yeah.
part because you probably felt a little awkward going up there again and being like, "Yeah, tack on another Sunkist for me, please."
Tack on another one. I did, but again, I didn't because I realized like how much I love it. I'm like, you know what? I don't even care. It's that good. I really don't care what they think
Metal
because I
can
enjoy it that
Sunkist.
much.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. You grab it out of the fridge and it's so cold it hurts your hand
Yep.
when you go to put it on the counter to pay for it.
And that's just a classic. You're going out to eat, and the meal's not ready for 20 minutes, but you are on
Oh
your
yeah.
third Coca-Cola, and they just keep filling that sucker back up for free.
Dude, at like the Outback or something,
Oh,
I'll have like, no joke, I'll probably have 3 or 4
yeah.
before I'm like done with my meal. It's
I'd say
nuts.
I'd say the over under on that would be set at 3.5. Like if you're feeling not like a complete
And if you're
schmuck, you'll have
thirsty,
3,
yeah.
and if you're thirsty, you're getting 4 to 5.
Yeah, and oh my God, there's nothing like restaurant Coke. We've been there, we've done that, but I just
Yeah.
cannot let it die.
Snack.
I think I'm up on snack. My snack of the week. A lot of people are gonna know this. You're gonna know this. I've been preaching it for years. Double dark chocolate Milanos via Pepperidge Farm brand. Unbelievable product.
Yeah.
I like them.
With milk, without milk, dry or a little
So
moist.
I'll eat them dry. I don't really mind. But like if I have nothing going on and I really want to just enjoy them, get like a half glass of milk and just do a little dip. And there's just nothing like it. Like people can say, "Oh, that's for Oreos, that's for Chips Ahoy." I'm sick of all your, corporate big boy brand cookies. This cookie has been hiding in the shadow for too damn
Up in
long,
New
and
England.
I am sick of it. I am sick of it. Double dark chocolate Milanos, not single chocolate, not milk chocolate. Double dark chocolate is the perfect amount of chocolate, enough chocolate where it kind of offsets the ratio of cookie to chocolate, and it's an absolutely fantastic product.
Here's a question. Did I say up in New England? Is that a New England farm or am I thinking of Cumberland Farms, the gas station? I might be thinking of that.
You might be thinking of Cumberland Farms because I believe in Florida I got double dark
Yeah, I
chocolate
can
Milanos.
definitely get them down here too, is what I was
Yeah, it's
thinking.
Pepperidge Farms is kind of sprinkled everywhere, I think.
Yep. Mine's pretty easy nowadays. It's Flips chocolate pretzels. I get the bag, and within maybe 20 minutes of sitting down, the entire bag's gone. It's the same with Milanos. It's the same with anything. I have no
Yeah.
self-restraint if it comes to a cheat meal, and I will feel so bad for the next couple of hours to just keep pounding those Milanos and Flips down, no matter what. They just taste too
So,
good. They're like a wafer too. You don't feel it
yeah.
until 30 minutes later, and you're like, now I
Yeah,
feel
they're
like a,
pretty
a
thin.
pile of dog doo doo.
So this is a question I've asked you. This is pre-pod multiple times. At what point do you feel like a disgusting sack of just dog doo doo? Like I want to say 4 or 5 come in a. I think it's actually. I want to say it's 5 come in a tray.
Yeah, it is
Am I
5.
right for Milano's?
Yep.
How many trays are you like? Okay, I am gonna be like this is disgusting. Like I think I could eat one. I could eat a tray and be like, okay, that's perfect. Once you start getting to like a second tray,
A
like
second
deep
full
into it, like
helping,
2, 3,
not good.
it's like you're in the danger zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's give us a flex meal here. Anything.
Flex meal. This is a summer special for me in particular. My ice cream game has been absolutely off the charts this past month. I've had more ice cream, I want to say, in the past month and a half than I have in the last 2 summers combined. I am off to an absolutely astronomical pace this year.
Torrent pace.
Oh my God, it's like nothing the world has ever seen. And typically, I'm going to go with the staple. That is Kitty, just enough for me with my lactose intolerance. Shout out Lactate pills, by the way. Lactate brand pills. Unbelievable lifesaver. I do Kitty soft serve chocolate in a wafer cone. The wafer's that little guy. I know this has been a battle for years. Me and Leah had a duel about it last year, I think it was.
Yeah, the wafer
It's a big
cone.
thing on Instagram, like wafer, waffle, cake cone, whatever. It's a wafer cone. I love when you get like halfway done with the soft serve and it's starting to melt into the bottom of the cone. And then when you get to the bottom of the cone, it's already sort of, sucked up some of the soft serve and you start eating the cone. And you're like, this is absolute money.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, it's just like such a solid, just perfect summer product for me. So I got to go with soft serve chocolate ice cream in a wafer cone. Typically from Rose, by the way. LBDM, way too busy. Tourist trap. Some would say, a little bit pricier.
Way
I got to go with
pricier.
Rose. Rose, yeah.
Okay. I mean, the late great Sala's closed down for a more profitable, probably George's Coffee Shop, but that was my go-to, cheap, economical, and they gave you the most ice cream this side of the Mississippi. For me, my flex meal, I'm gonna go breakfast.
No, it's your hybrid, right? Your hybrid.
Yeah, my flex meal.
Oh, yeah, flex meal hybrid. Okay,
Yep.
go ahead.
Breakfast, which I don't do very often, as you know. I'm more of a pageantry breakfast guy like Liz Luster is. But
Yeah.
I will take fried dough with chocolate milk and a side of bacon as my flex cheat meal.
Holy shit.
That one
Oh,
will take
baby.
a while to settle, and I'm getting it from Charlie's Place. They have some damn good fried dough over there.
Now, I remember we went to Charlie's not too long ago, Kurt, and we didn't leave the happiest of campers. So you must have gone a couple times after. They might have won your heart back over. I love Charlie's Place chicken fingers, by the way, best in Gloucester. I'm not trying to throw dirt on them. I had their toast. It wasn't great,
Yep.
but I believe you and I trust you.
People forget we made the full rota of pretty much every breakfast place in Gloucester back in the day. Me, you, Billy, and Connor. We had a weekly thing going on, and we pretty much settled on Morning Glory for a while, but
Oh,
they lost
God.
us too. Someone always lost us at some point.
they lost themselves.
A
Let's
ch-
not don't get it twisted.
A
They
change in
lost
the
themselves.
cooks, maybe. We don't know
I
what
don't know
happened.
what it was.
We
The
don't know.
Madiga steak and eggs. Oh my God, it took my heart. And we'd always go in the summer too, so you'd get ready for the beach,
Yep.
and those scrambies in that Madiga would just sit heavy in the stomach. Have to wait a couple hours before swimming. Oh, the memories.
Looking just thick down GHB.
We'd walk in, Catherine would be smiling ear to ear. Back in the day,
Yeah. Or
Nothing like
old
it.
Jilly Mac too was there for
Jilly Mac was there. Yep.
So with that, Drew, we'll wrap up our little in honor of Jason Vizena cheat meal of the week. Let's go to Brian Eustace down in New Jersey. He's gonna be our average Joe of the week. We're gonna discuss just some daily occurrences, but we're also gonna get to how he may be the hottest golf guy in the country right now. All right, folks, here with my old college roommate, Yankees fan, Knicks fan, Giants fan.
Oh.
One rough one. Well, the Giants are now a little rough too, but Brian
I mean-
Eustace
I
with
mean-
us. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for having me. Sorry, when you brought up the Giants, all I could think about is how many people are going to get arrested by the end of this. All of this. Kicker with the Dewey, Baker just bringing in guns, robbing people. It's unbelievable. It's one of those things where I don't even want to look at an update unless it's Saquon Barkley related.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're becoming more towards your Knicks organization than anything. So you still got
I can't take
you got the Yankees to hold on to right now, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't take two seasons of misery. Like the Knicks, I always had it built in. Like, who knows what stupidness is going to happen, but we'll see.
All right, so Brian, we're testing out a new segment this week. It's the average Joe of the week. We're just trying to get, sense of what life is like during the weekdays for the folks either running the office grind or doing some of the dirty work of the world. So introduce yourself, maybe what you do, and then we'll just roll from there.
Yes. So currently live in New Jersey. I work with a digital marketing agency, so we do kind of the website ads for that. But we had an office in the city, and it's just been so bad. And we're kind of going off of like Google, Twitter, where they're not requiring anybody till the new year. So we gave up that lease. So permanently working from home. Really loving like not having to get up at like 6:45. Now I kind of do like the 9 a.m. like little toggle like by the bed, just chill out. It's go to. And then the trick that I found out is you got to get the YouTube video when you just have to be online. You put a YouTube video that's like 10 hours, put it on in the background, go outside for a little bit.
Oh my God.
Gotta.
That
Dude,
is
he's got it all.
unbelievable. What's the attire choice for you when you're waking up and toggling that computer on?
I would say it's just t-shirt, shorts. We're starting to get into tank season because I'm not trying to be like as pale as I usually am. So I have like some time to kind of ease my way. Because if I go to the beach, like I'm gonna be toast for the first time this summer.
Now,
100%.
is it a Zoom type of thing where you have to just turn the camera off, or are we having the camera on during meetings? What goes on there?
It stinks. Like at first, like I was able to just kind of have like my one like professional picture. That was it, and I could kind of hide in the background, similar to what I was saying. Like just let it keep going. Like nothing too important. Now they're starting to do like these icebreakers. Oh my God, we did like a day in the life, and it's just 28 people just awkwardly trying to jump in and just say their thing, and I'm like, everything that you read about of like the awkward Zoom meetings, like
Yeah.
that's what we're doing.
Oh, I've been there. Zoom is, and really any of those platforms, especially in like a corporate environment like that right now, going on, 4 months, it's just absolutely exhausting. Whether it just closes on you with Wi-Fi, people trying to talk over you, people lagging out, it's certainly quite the experience. And I gotta say, I am pretty impressed with you kind of did your due diligence with the mouse tracking pad and the video. I haven't done any of that, to be completely honest, but that is certainly pretty impressive to go to that extent. So bravo to you there.
Appreciate it.
Next level thinking there for sure.
Next level scheming. Next
Yeah.
level scheming.
Talk to us about the commute into NYC. Now, we're a couple of Boston guys, so we know the traffic when it comes to 95 southbound going into Boston from Gloucester and dealing with 93 and all the madness of the tunnels. But give us probably the worst traffic city in the nation, up there with Boston.
Yeah, in terms of like traffic, like I'm only taking a train in. There's no way I'm ever driving into the city. My dad used to do that, and it's just people like New Jersey people, I'd say, are pretty reckless, but like New York, there's just so little space in between like lights. So you have people just slamming on it, going like 60, and all of a sudden it's like a quick stop. So like I don't even mess with that. But I'm dealing with our transportation's like NJ Transit. I don't know if you've seen like there's certain times because there's such old trains, like everything will break down, and then you've got a billion people in Penn Station, like people ready to go for that track to come up. So I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore.
So quick question for you, Brian, off the top. I hear rumors and myths about. I follow this page on Instagram called Subway Creatures of NYC,
Ooh,
and
yes.
there's like people with their legs, they're like hanging upside down playing the violin in the subway, like with no clothes on. There's people like just banging in the middle of the subway. There's people like when COVID first started, there was people on the train, on the subway with like a woman's panties as a mask. Like I like every day, like people dressed up as babies, like sucking their thumbs in a fetal position on the subway. Like I could write a book about all these social media posts. I'm sure you could do a TED talk on it, experiencing it firsthand. Can you just tell me off the top of your head if that is true, if everything I'm saying is true, what the craziest thing you've experienced in the flesh has been?
So I think the weirdest thing was just like going. So I'm going to work, like just got the coffee, fucking dead. Like I'm dead, and I'm just trying to get through the day, and I'm just like sitting there, and all of a sudden there's just this like the smell. Some dude at the end of the cart just shit his pants, just shit his pants, and is like sitting there, like everyone's starting to look around, and then it's like one of those things. You get to the next stop, everyone's fucking out. We're like, no, thank you. Like this is now your cart, sir. Well played.
Was it an older man? Like, was it a accident, or was it a, hey, I'm gonna shit my pants and I'm gonna have this whole car to myself?
No, this is a guy that's like posting up, like he's got his like cart taking like the kind of handicap spot where there's like so much extra space. Like he's pitching a tent for this place, and it's one of those things where I'm like, I mean, hey, he accomplished what he wants. This is now his home for the next 24 hours, whatever.
But he also
has to clean it up.
But he also has a big dump in his pants. Yeah, so that's a little tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a power move. I'm not gonna. I'll say there's definitely has its negative effects, but it was just one of those things where like I get into work and everyone's like, "Oh, how's it going?" I'm like, "I just got poop stink like in my nostrils. Like I
you
don't
can almost taste it walking into the office.
I'm going home."
Oh my God.
Oh,
nightmare.
Well, that's a good way to wrap up our little work-related discussion in NYC. But let's get on to the topic we really want to talk to you about this week. For 2 weeks, Brian has been the hottest golf guy in the country when it comes to selecting picks for financial investment, we'll say. There's this past weekend, he was on absolute fire. The weekend before, he did well, but the RBC Heritage panned out perfectly for him. So just give us some like strategy talk, maybe talk us through the past couple weekends.
Yeah, so I'm just going to start with saying, as Curt knows, I know nothing about golf. So kind of getting into it, there's just nothing else on, and it's on Thursday to Sunday every week. Like I'll throw it on in the background.
8 hours
it's
a day.
Perfect. Inject it in my veins. Give me any live sports I can get aside from KBO at 4 a.m., which I'm still not even doing that. But mainly, yeah, that's a different tangent. But basically, I've been just reading people that do know golf, and like the big thing that I've been like noticing is just people like since it's so new, like everyone's never had this long of a layoff. It's just people that are playing well. Like the one that I was telling you about, Curt, was like the Smith guy who like proposed to his wife at like 18. I was like, yo, sign me up for this guy. He's been probably playing this his entire life. So just kind of like rocking with those guys. I will be honest, so I rocked with Webb. Webb was the boy from the start, just because I read some good stuff. But I was definitely a little worried. Definitely a little worried yesterday when everyone's just racking it up and hitting all of these putts.
I think the problem also, Webb Simpson is who he's talking about, the champion this week. They underwrite Webb Simpson every single year. The man won a U.S. Open in 2012 at Olympic Club. Probably one of the best, toughest U.S. Opens to play. They finished over par. Everybody who was in the lead kind of collapsed the last day. Jim Furyk to be one of the main ones. But they were talking about him yesterday. They're like, oh, he's in this class with like Abraham Answer and this other lower tiered player, but definitely up and comer. And I'm like, no, he is a major champion. He is up with the JTs and, the Spieths. Maybe not that high up, like because he doesn't week in and week out contend like they did or did at one point. But he's a major champion. You got to put some respect on that name, Webb Simpson.
Well, the big thing was him just missing that cut. And like with how many bets are coming in, like I think it was before the start of the last tournament, was the most golf bets I think Vegas like ever had. So it's just like one of those things where like, people are just gonna see like he was terrible last week. It was just like hot board. So yeah, the odds for somebody that has that kind of pedigree, according to the experts, he's played well at those type of courses. So like I'll rock with it.
I liked it. He's a fairway finder, and that's what the RBC Heritage is all about. But your biggest news, I think, for the past 2 weeks and should be implemented throughout all of golf. Joel Dahmen, I believe is how you pronounce his name correctly, but you dubbed him Joel Damon, as in Damon from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And I think that could be the best PGA Tour nickname this entire year and for years down the road.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like before, kind of coming into this weekend, like I watched that Nightman Cometh episode just to get revved up for the boy. He's coming in hot with the bucket hat. Like he doesn't look like that guy. I love him, but he just looks so awkward. But he's killing it, and it's just like one of those things. Like, hey, like I'll be different. I'm all in. I was telling Curt, I think aside from his immediate family, I might be the biggest Dayman fan there's out.
Yeah, and it's so much easier to say that and just call him the Dayman, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's incredible. I think he's a guy who would definitely get aboard it. So we're gonna have to, maybe give it a tag, maybe toss it out to No Laying Up, one of the premier golf podcasts, and see what they think about it.
Yeah, I was seeing like last week with all of your like Spieth tweets, I was thinking about just like creating a picture of myself, just like replacing like Charlie Kelly, just putting his face and just like sending it over to him, like, yo, #1 fan,
Yeah.
Let's do it.
That's the one. All right, Brian, that'll wrap up our little segment here. Thanks for coming on and being the little, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Little guinea pig average Joe?
Yeah, the guinea pig of the average Joe of the week. It went well, I think, and I'm sure we'll be hearing from you some more, especially according to golf. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, yeah, baby. Thank you very much. Love you
Been a
guys.
pleasure, man.
All right, Drew, let's get on with it to Dad Joke of the Week time.
Once again, ladies and gents, it's that time of the day. Again, same old song and dance brought to you by Gloucester Gear. Wear what the locals wear. Dad Joke of the Week, again brought to you by William James Fosbury of Gloucester Avenue. Won't tell you the house number because that's
Confidential.
where things can get a little bit confidential. Long story short, here it goes. How do you know there's a clown in your kitchen? The food tastes funny.
Oh, that is an all-time Billy one. I've heard that one so many times, and I was trying to get it out before you could.
I've never heard it. I was like, that is
Oh.
absolute gold.
That's a classic Billy, like camping or something else. He gets it absolutely from John Fosbury. And it's one of my favorite jokes of all time because everybody gets it immediately. It hits you right there.
Yep. Absolutely. Thank you, Bill.
Wonderful as always, Billy. I have a feeling you're going to be a recurring guest on the Dad Joke of the Week. You got quite the spectrum of jokes for that.
Quite the repertoire.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Drew, let's try out the new segment here this week. It's going to be Woman of the Week. Season 1, Boy of the Week.
Yeah.
We're switching over to the other side, fair and equal. Let's hear your Woman of the Week.
Equal opportunity, my Woman of the Week. I don't know if a lot of people know who this is.
Oh,
Leah first introduced me to this woman. Her name is Chloe Ting. I repeat, Chloe Ting. She's a younger woman who has a YouTube channel, and she releases free work, basically it's like a 2-week ab shred. There's core workouts. She does a bunch of these 20 to 30 minute just ab circuit videos on YouTube that you can do.
Yep.
Takes no time at all. I'll tell you, they absolutely beat the bag out of you, but they are so good. I started doing them probably a month ago. I fizzled out because I'm weak and lazy. Got to get back into it. If you haven't and you're looking for a quick workout, just look up Chloe Ting on YouTube. There's a bunch of quick and easy core workouts you can do. And boy, will they burn you. So go check her out. She's my first, what's the word? Not initial, but
Woman of the Week.
Sure, Woman of the Week. Keep it simple.
Speaking of fit women, I was going to go with a basic pick here, Natalie Portman, but I'm not going to do that anymore, Drew. I thought this over quite diligently.
Game time decision. This is serious.
And this is someone who I've always looked at and been like, she's got something. Rose Namajunas. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Also known as Thug Rose from the UFC. She's
I don't know who that is at all.
one point champion of the world. We'll get you informed. We'll post a picture or two. But I've been a fan of hers since she came on the scene and took out I forget who it was. I want to say Polish, one of the Polish champions, and was a heavy underdog in the fight, and like came out of it and knocked her out in the first round. It was unbelievable. Nobody thought it was going to happen. She went on to have, a couple, probably a year or two of champion status, and she hasn't fought in a while. But that's my woman of the week, Thug Rose.
Alrighty.
We'll wrap it up here. And we'll get some fan submissions for next week. They won't always be us. Maybe we'll have somebody on, or we'll just talk through some. But let's wrap it up with our quote of the week, per usual. We'll never get rid of this one. This one comes from the White House at one point with Eleanor Roosevelt. She stated, "A stumbling block for the pessimist is a stepping stone to the optimist." I think that's a good way to start the week off here at TBBLC. Pat from last year, play us out per usual.
What's for lunch? TBBLC.
Stay in your seat.
What's for lunch today? Sausage. Brown bag.
The Brown Bag Lunch Crew.